Welcome back to another Pokemon Falling Friday, your one-stop shop for all your Pokemon information. We go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going down in price. And we do also cover any big Pokemon news like cards just as they get revealed. And if I do see any good deals, I always try to throw them in here too. And before we get started, we do have to give a big thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Metatcg. If you guys have a ton of bulk laying around, which I know you guys do, you can literally trade it in for some amazing cards or cash. They take Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, or Yu-Gi-Oh! They do have to be near mint, and it is so easy. Not to mention, look at the cards they're trading. You got the first edition Rocket's Mewtwo, first edition Dark Dragonite, Rayquaza EX, even the Mega Charizard EX from Flashfire. But yeah, like I said, it's so easy. Just fill out the submission, tell them exactly how many cards you have. They just got to be near mint. They even have a video showing you exactly how to package everything. They streamline it all. So definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. All right, let's get into it. Hop into PokeBeard here. We got a new Lugia EX and Latias EX Premium Collection and a Mimikyu EX and Alcremie EX Premium Collection releasing at Target. So it looks like they'll be $49.99 coming out October 17th. And to be honest, look at that pack selection. We're talking 5 Destin with 5 Mega Evolutions. I like it. And then here's the Mimikyu box. We got 2 Mega Evolution, 2 Destin Rivals, 2 Journey Together, 2 Searching Sparks, 1 Temporal, and then 1 Twilight Masquerade. So pretty good little variety. And I know some of those sets, you don't really care too much about because they're newer sets, but in a couple years, those are going to become crazy sets. Like if we had a box like that, for Sword and Shield that had, Fusion Strike in it and Brilliant Stars and Chilling Rain, those boxes are hot right now. All right, let's get into it. And as you guys know, there's not a ton of stuff going down right now, but I did find quite a few things this week. So we got the Destin Rivals booster box, got up to about $398. Now last sold $350, $370, $370, $398, $319. Next, we have the Journey Together booster box. This is just a regular one. Got up to about $263. Now last sold $249, $245, $241, $239, $245. That's going to happen though when boxes or cards just go crazy up. They're going to level out a little bit. Next, we have the Mega Evolution regular ETB. This is on TCG Player. So as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, but when it's a pre-sale item, there's only certain people that can actually sell this stuff on TCG Player. So to get like the true sales, you got to check eBay. But there's a lot of people who just look at TCG Player, so we're checking that today. This was at $172 for the regular Mega Gardevoir ETB. Now last sold $94.85. Next, we have the Mega Lucario one, a little more expensive. This was at $133, got down to $105, back up to $115. Now last sold $109, $108. So just coming down a little bit. Next, we have the Mega Evolution Booster Box. This got up to $346 on TCG Player. Now last sold $279, 6 of them at $279. Next, we have the regular Twilight Masquerade ETB. So we got a pretty decent reprint of this thing. Was at $98. Now last sold $65, $65, $70, $60, 8 of them at $70. Not too bad. Next, the White Flare ETB. Last sold $70, $73, $82, $70, $72. So hopefully that gets in the $60s soon. That'd be nice. Next, we have the Surging Sparks ETB. Last sold $73, $69, $73, $64, $72. Next, we have the Venusaur EX and Blastoise EX Premium Collection. Just starting to come up in price right now. I wanted to add it, but it got down to $70. Now last sold $71, $79, $72, and $71. Next, we have the new Team Rocket tins. There's 3 different versions. This is the Nidoking one. So that's $60 when it came out. Now last sold $33, $37, $38, and $35. Next, we have the Persian Team Rocket tin. Same thing. Last sold for this one, $33, $38, $36, and $37. And the most popular one, which is starting to go back up in price, is the Mewtwo one. And last sold for this $47, $45, $44. And I think this did get down to about $42, $43. So next, we have the Phantasmal Flames sealed products. We're on eBay. So we got the booster box. Sold for $286 plus $33 in shipping. Then we got the Pokemon Center ETB for $233 plus $30 in shipping. We got 2 Pokemon Center ETBs for $600. Another one for $299, our best offer. We got a booster bundle for $55. Another Pokemon Center ETB at $280 plus $33 in shipping. Phantasmal Flames booster box lot of 2, $620, so $310 each. And then 5 Mega Charizard UPCs, says confirmed, for $1,363 plus $100 in shipping, or best offer. Couple more Pokemon Center ETBs at like $280. We We got one at 220 here. It's the cheapest one so far. But yeah, that's just crazy. People are super excited for this set, which I think is kind of funny because we really haven't seen a ton of the cards yet. Next, getting to some cards. This card's just going down a little bit, but it's the Galarian Zapdos promo. Got up to about $4. Now that's sold $273, $220, $250, $216. Still a super cool card. Awesome promo. Pretty tough to grade. And the tins are going up in price. Next, we got the Lightbird here from White Flare. So a ton of the illustration rares are doing this. Pretty much starting to level out now. This card was $21. Now it's right around $15. Last sold $17, $16, $15. Next, we have the Gothita. Same thing. Was at $18. Now last sold $10, $10, $11, $10. Next, we have the Bubble Mew EX. It's funny. I've been seeing a ton of like brand new people making like investing videos on Instagram and TikTok and stuff. And I seen one where someone's like, the Bubble Mew is going to crash back down to $400. You got to sell it now. When every card, when it shoots up like this, it's always going to come back down in price right away and level out. But it's not going to go right back down to $400. That's just crazy to think that. Yeah, this got a little over $700. Now that's sold $650, $649, $650, $656. Next, we have the Flareon EX from Prismatic. A lot of the evolutions are starting to go back up in price. That's sold for Flareon $168, $167, $165, $169. And then we have the Jolteon here. Last sold for this one, $149, $150, $135, $149. Next, we got the Superior EX from Black Bolt. Still slowly falling. It was at $53. Now last sold $44, $45, $41, $49. And we can get it shipped right now for $42. So that is not too bad for that card. Next, we got the Hydreigon EX. Same exact thing, just slowly falling. Last sold $76, $70, $68. And we can get that one shipped for $79. Next, we got the Tropicos EX from Prismatic Evolutions. This thing is not very popular. I feel like most people like the Stellar Crown Tropicos better. This one is a little tough to read, in my opinion. But this was a $78 card. Now that's sold $39, $38, $36. Next, we got the Gouging Fire EX from Temporal Forces. This was at $55. Now that's sold $36, $34, $33. Next, the Iron Leaves EX. I think this is one of the most underrated cards. It's so beautiful, so unique. This is at $39. Now last sold $25, $25, $26. Next, we got the Bouffalant from White Flare. I have not heard anybody say they really like this card. I think it's unique, but probably not, a super popular Pokemon. Was at $35. Now last sold $18, $17, $17, $22. Next, we have the Light Toxtricity. This is a Celebrations promo. Went crazy. This thing used to be literally like 25 cents and got all the way up to about $10. And now it's just starting to come down now. That sold $9, $8.73, $6.80, $6.99. And same with the Mimikyu. This came in the same tin. I always thought these were super cool, unique promos because it's a Delta species. It's a throwback to when we used to get Delta species. I love that when they actually changed the typing. And then this card, it's a Light Toxtricity. So that's another throwback to like the light and dark Pokemon. So super cool promos. It's just they were dirt cheap forever. Next, we are jumping to some PSA 10 cards. We got a bunch of Sun and Moon tag teams and stuff that are going down in price. So we got the Full Art Vileplume GX. If you guys do not know about this card, it's from Cosmic Eclipse. One of the most underrated cards. And I feel like no one ever talks about it. But it's a true alternate art. So it got up to about $700 in a 10. Now last sold, which was a few days ago, $458. Next, we got the Blastoise and Piplup tag team from Cosmic. We had sales at $1,700 in a 10, and now last sold 2 days ago, $1,450 in a 10. Next, we have the Reshiram and Zekrom GX from Cosmic Eclipse. It's got up to $26.31. Now last sold $2,350. Yeah, it's kind of wild that these are coming down in price because we're in the most wild time in Pokemon history, and these are some of the best cards in Pokemon history, and they're still coming down in price. That's why I feel like a lot of these newer people, they think their PSA 10 cards can never go down. I can almost guarantee you all your PSA 10 cards will eventually go down at some time. Cards constantly go up and down, up and down. It's not like Sealed, and Sealed isn't guaranteed to just always go up too. Sealed will come down and level out and do little things here and there, but it's not as crazy as the cards. I mean, a lot of these cards can cut in half. We've seen it before. I mean, the Sword and Shield alternate arts, when we got into the Scarlet and Violet era, literally cut in half. So if you were somebody who was collecting Sword and Shield alternate arts during Sword and Shield, and then got into the Scarlet and Violet era, every card that you bought was worth way less. But now we're in another boom, and some of those cards are getting higher than they ever did before. So, a lot of this stuff is patience, but I know a lot of people in the hobby do not have that patience. Next, we have the other Reshiram and Zekrom. Love this card. This got to $713. Now last sold in a 10, $452. All right, next we have the Gardevoir and Sylveon tag team in a 10. This got up to $2,125. Now last sold $1,215, and I think we had a brand new sale at $1,500. Next, we have one of the most expensive tag teams, the Gengar and Mimikyu. It's got up to $5,000. Now last sold $4,150 and $3,700. Next, we have the Stained Glass Birds promo. It's got up to $460 in a 10. Now last sold $350. This pop is crazy high. There's $28,000 in a 10, $14,000 in a 9, and $2,400 in an 8. Next, we got another promo, the Pikachu and Zekrom GX tag team in a 10. This was at $1,370. Now last sold $1,145. Next, we have the Greninja and Zoroark tag team in a 10. This was at $1,391. I think we did have one higher sale at about $1,500 in July. And now last sold $830. And then I think we had another brand new sale at about $900. Next, we have the Cosmic Eclipse Reshiram and Zekrom tag team Rainbow in a 10. It's got up to $670. Now last sold $475. And we had a sale at $600 and $475 before that. Next, we got another Rainbow, the Gengar and Mimikyu tag team in a 10. This got up to $1,400. Now last sold $1,049. And last on the list, we have the Armored Mewtwo. This is a Black Star promo, one of the coolest cards in Pokemon history. Super low pop, only has 288 in a 10, 1,700 in a 9, and 1,190 in an 8. Now this card went crazy when we got the Mewtwo from Destined Rivals hype. It went from a $2,200 card to a $7,900 card, which happens a ton when it's, a super low pop card like this mixed with hype. Because you can't just go onto eBay and find 10 of these for sale at any time. These rarely come up for sale. So when you have that mixed with the hype, you get a bidding war. And that's where we got the almost 8K sale. And now the Mewtwo hype is kind of died down a little bit. So now we got a sale at $4,855. And I think the newest one was at like $5,600 or something like that. Last time I checked a couple days ago. So yeah, that happens a ton when it's a super low pop card like that. If you mix it with hype, it just goes insane. If it's normal time, you're not going to have that many people interested in it. But yeah, we had so much Mewtwo hype. Every Mewtwo card was going crazy. But alright, that was today's Pokemon Flying Friday. If you guys do like this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. If you guys want to support more, you guys can check out my Instagram, my TikTok, or my YouTube membership. It's only 99 cents a month. But alright, I want you guys to have a great day. And then too, if you guys want to watch my last Pokemon Throwback Thursday where I cover all of the Blastoise cards in Pokemon history, click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.